YouTube? This is the Working Investor. In this video, I'm going to give you guys an update of my 3 sandwiches that I have in the Yield Max funds. When we say sandwiches, we're talking about buying an underlying and buying the inverse of it. So basically, we're talking about TSLY and Crash. We're talking about NVDY and dips. We're talking about Coney and FIAT. I made a video on 9/6 just about a month ago, September 6, 2024, and this was what was going on in September 6, and my conclusion was that I was down a total of almost $900 total in these sandwiches, total return. So basically my total return was like, it was pretty much down 5.9%. And this is, so when it comes to these sandwiches, a couple ways how I construct them. Number one, I try to keep it isolated from my other investments because I want to have clarity. So all the money that's in the sandwiches come from the sandwiches, unless I'm building up a core number, but then that gets, factored in. So I try to reinvest all the dividends from the sandwiches into itself, and I try not to put any external money from other dividends or other monies into the sandwiches. So I have clarity exactly where I'm at and my total return. It's a bit painful, but I want to have clarity. So let's see how we did right now. So number one, we did some changes in my allocation. So initially I had everything you see on the top, a 60-40 split. So I had the way I'm constructing the sandwiches, I initially, now this is going back way back a few months ago, I used to do 50-50 split. But the thing is that I am playing volatility, and I actually am long, I'm bullish in these positions overall, and I want to bet more on the bull side, and I'm just using the sandwiches to hedge a little bit on the downside and collect some volatility on the downside. So I went from a 50-50 split to a 60-40 split when I restarted the sandwiches and keeping track as of September 6th. And now I am going up in the sandwiches. So I'm doing 2 changes. Number one, my split is going to it's in progress right now, but at the end of the month, I'm going to have everything set up as an 80-20 split. 80% on the normal side and 20% on the inverse side. So how am I going to do that? By increasing these sandwiches. So my allocation in the sandwiches is $15,000 total money put in. And so it's 3 sandwiches, so $5,000 initially per sandwich. And of the $5,000, $3,000 was on the normal side and $2,000 on the inverse side. So all I'm going to do is double my sandwiches from $15,000 to $30,000 total. But all I'm going to do is add $5,000 on the bullish side, and that will be $10,000 per sandwich, $8,000 on the bullish side, $2,000 on the bearish side. But the only caveat is, in my sandwiches, I do not want to pick up more Coney for now, and I rather have Misty. It's more of a true Bitcoin play. So the $5,000 I'm going to put into the Coney Fiat sandwich. It's basically a triple layered sandwich. So you have Fiat, which is the inverse side, and then I have kind of Coney, like kind of in the middle, which is $3,000. And eventually I'm trying to open up a position in Misty for $5,000. So that'll together you have $8,000 in the bullish side and $2,000 on the inverse side. That's how I'm making a structure. So I just want to give you guys some context. So I am going to be increasing these sandwiches as we get into the week of dividends, because they're the group A, B, and C groups, actually A, B, C, D groups. So let's start with NVDY dips. So NVDY dips is still at a 60-40 allocation. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be at the end of this week because there's dividends coming out this week. We're gonna bump it up 5K. So right now my position I put into NVDY dip sandwich, like I said, is $5,000. Right now I just looked at my portfolio, added up together the amount I have sitting in NVDY and dips, and it's $5,055. That does include 1 dividend cycle reinvested inside of it. So I could have clarity that I only put $5,000, that, I only reinvested, only new money that came in was money that came in from the dividends, from their dividends. And total right now, I am up $55 in this sandwich. So I'm up 1.1%. But of the NVDY, I want to compare it. Had I not have the sandwiches, how am I doing without the sandwiches? So NVDY right now, my initial investment was $3,000 into Nvidia. Like I said, it's going to go up to $8,000 at the end of the week. So right now, my Nvidia holding is worth $32.25. And so it's up actually 7.5%. So it seems to have fared better than the sandwiches. So my verdict of this sandwich right now is the sandwich, as of now, has underperformed, but it's still I'm still up overall. Let's go into the Coney Fiat. So Coney Fiat is still a 60-40 split. Like I said, I'm going to add 5K into Misty, and that'll be factored into the sandwich, the triple sandwich. I would say like a Bitcoin triangle here. If that doesn't make any sense at all. But whatever. I'm trying to think of a funny way to spin off this. So $5,000 was placed initially. Right now, if you add up the Coney and Fiat holdings together, it's worth $4,778. So I'm net down $222. If you want to compare that to my down from last month, I was actually down $380. So I'm down $222. So I'm starting to climb back up, even though Coney's been down quite a bit. So I'm down 4.45% together in the sandwiches. Coney, have I had Coney by itself without the inverse, I would have been down 7.76%. So my verdict is the sandwich has performed. It did what it's supposed to do. The sandwich did what it's supposed to do. It's actually kept me down less than I would have been down if I had Coney by itself. Now, the TSLY crash, this is already now an 80-20 split. So now my initial total invested into this sandwich is 10K. If you add up my total of TSLY and crash, it's worth $10,103. So I'm up right now $103 total. Like I said, this now includes 2 dividend cycles. It includes last month's dividend cycle and this recent dividend cycle. If you watched my previous video, what I did was I actually got in the extra 5,000 that I put into TSLY. I put 2,500 on declaration date, so I captured some of the dividends, and I put the other 2,500 on ex-dividend date. So this includes, not the full amount of the dividends I would have gotten from TSLY, because I wanted to get in at a lower cost basis. But I'm up total in this position 1.03%. If you look at my TSLY cost basis, it's somewhere in the $13 range. So you'd say, oh my God, it's trading around $12.50 or something like that. But I reinvested the dividends. So I'm looking at total returns, and that money that's extra put into TSLY crash came from TSLY crash. So it's not like no external money. It's trying to keep it a sterile environment right here. So my verdict is right now that had I held TSLY, TSLY crash is 1.03% up. TSLY by itself is up 1.08%. I would say that this is equivocal. I would say the sandwich didn't really do any detriment. It didn't do any major benefit. It's kind of equivocal. That's my verdict. So now if you add up so far, and just to mention, like I said, this is fairly new, the new bump up in 10K. That's new. But so far, my total is that I'm down $64. Why am I down $64? Because I earned 103 here, and I lost 222 here, and I earned $55 here. So if you add, the total would be down negative $64. If you divide that by the entire portfolio right now it has 20K into the sandwiches at this moment, so that's down 0.32%. So right now, all the sandwiches together, I'm a net negative of just a hair, just 0.32%. So anyways, I'll keep you guys updated as we go, maybe next month as well. And let me know if you like the sandwich method. And this is my personal twist of the sandwiches. Everybody's got their own way. I know there's some people out there that mentioned that it's good to do sandwiches when the prices are exactly the same. I know the Oracle talks about that. It's an interesting concept. I was thinking about it. But we'll see. There's so many different ways, so many different hypotheses with the sandwiches. I want to shed to light my journey. And again, this is not financial advice. And this is the Working Investor over and out. And good luck and have a wonderful trading week.